Well, I know you do a lot of work in education, informal types as well as a little bit more formal, but especially in the area of connecting with youth and junior youth. So I'm interested in hearing your perception of what the social reality of what's going on for them.
Well, that's a big old
question. Sorry
that's
for that.
a big old question, Gordon. So I guess the first level that I would talk about would be the intergenerational one, which I think is a big one. In particular, just splitting kind of down the middle, young folks and old folks, just to give us a little bit less complexity to deal with. There's a lot of challenges with the way young people feel themselves to be perceived. And I feel like this is from the time that they're infants to the time that they're, in their 20s and, moving towards being truly adult. And if they ever feel that way, perceived that way by others. So how young people are perceived by older people can change whether they feel confident and capable and wise and all of those things that really contribute to a fully self-actualized human being by the time they come of age and really start to come into themselves and identify very clearly what their passion and their goal is. So that's one thing that I notice from that age group is that from birth, sometimes they're totally ignored. Many people don't actually realize that babies, even before they can walk, have a personality. They hear and are reading the energy of what you are saying and how you're saying it. There's so many nuances to that whole process that if we, as an adults, as those who are caretakers of these young people, aren't paying attention, being attentive caretakers and stewards of this growth, then by the time they're toddlers and, beginning to really speak and to communicate, maybe we're missing other things as well. And if that snowballs, that there's a cumulative effect of all those things that we just have not been engaging and paying attention to. The tone of our voice, the way that we speak to each other, the way that a man speaks to a woman, the way that women speak to men, the way that we, do all manner of things. How do we speak to servers at restaurants? How do we speak to people who clean homes? All these things are being read. So there's all this passive, kind of almost unread stuff that, to me, is just embedded in all these young people. Obviously, then, what is the tone of most teachers once these young people are coming into school? How tired are these teachers of seeing, these kids who haven't been paid attention to by their parents and then aren't really listening and aren't very attentive and aren't very interested right now because no one's been thus far really engaging them. So it's like all these different elements to the equation that I feel like are very pertinent and very real and very challenging ones for both an educational institution as well as a population that needs to be educated.